Hi, I'm Liz Swan Miller. I'm a naturopath and a best-selling Amazon author that has helped over 14,793 women and men reclaim their health, fitness, and happiness with advice they needed to improve their physical well-being. As a professional weight loss expert, I was ashamed and frustrated by the weight I'd gained after a difficult and complicated pregnancy. No matter which of my time-tested techniques I tried, I just couldn't get rid of the pounds and pounds of stubborn excess fat. It was like I was a stranger in my own body, trapped in a shell I didn't even recognize anymore. The worst part was that I couldn't seem to do anything to get my life back to normal. I was disappointed, ashamed, and more alone than I'd ever been. I felt absolutely helpless. That all changed when I took a plane to Africa and discovered the delicious tea that made me burn body fat quickly and easily, without feeling hungry. Now, you need to watch this video until the very end because I'm actually going to give you this revolutionary ancient recipe today. This recipe led to my life-changing fat loss. I shed 14 pounds in only 14 days. I then went on to cleanse away an incredible 27 more pounds. That's 41 pounds all gone because of one cup of tea. It was all thanks to a bizarre legend my South African college exchange student told me about when I was younger. A tale that told about a delicious red tea discovered in the remote African wilderness and the Kenyan tribe who drank it to stop all the feelings of hunger. The legend said an African shaman possessed an ancient recipe for a delicious red tea so powerful that whoever drank it felt unlimited energy, with no thirst and no hunger. It sounded crazy, and yet I was absolutely dying to find out the truth. Could drinking this red tea really make someone never feel hungry? You can't buy this tea blend in the store because it's still mostly a secret. In fact, I'm literally the first person in America who's ever brought it back from Africa. And if I hadn't gotten out of that jungle alive, you wouldn't be hearing about it today. But don't worry, because you can actually find all the ingredients you need at any grocery store. You might even have them in your house right now. And the tea works like magic. You feel full, satisfied, and energized almost instantly, and your body will actually activate its natural ability to burn fat, a built-in superpower you might not have used in years. Additionally, absolutely anyone can use it, no matter your age, gender, or health. While you should always check with a physician you trust before making any life changes, this detox is proven safe, effective, and simple. You can drink this tea to detox your body and shed 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds or more, just like I did. The difference in my body in just 14 days was truly astonishing. I lost 14 pounds in just 2 weeks. I can't even begin to describe the feeling of complete and utter relief as those first few pounds disappeared. When they kept coming off, I knew I'd found something special. In a matter of mere weeks, I dropped 41 pounds. That's right, 41. After years of struggling, I'd finally found the solution I was looking for. No more diet failures, no more guilt or remorse. With each pound I lost, I was one step closer to being happier, one step closer to being my old self. I was back in my skinny jeans again. You can actually see me smiling, more slender than I've been in years, right in this picture from last Sunday at a family barbecue. Without the fat-burning power of this mysterious tea, I can't imagine where I'd be today. It saved my sanity, it saved my health, and best of all, it saved my failing marriage. This is truly a life changer. That's why I'm so excited to give you this secret red tea recipe responsible for vanishing 14 pounds in just 14 days. You see, my last pregnancy took a toll on me. After multiple complications, I was put on extended bed rest. I spent 80% of my day stuck in bed, and I was forced to give up the active lifestyle I loved so much. Can you imagine being trapped in one room for weeks at a time? Being held back from pursuing your hobbies, your passions, and truly engaging with life? That was my world. I became sluggish. I felt exhausted all the time. Eventually, I developed a sweet tooth, and I absolutely lost control of my weight. I felt like a fraud. Here I was helping people all over the country lose weight and get the bodies they wanted, while I was lying in bed looking worse than I ever have. Honestly, I felt disgusted with myself. And even though my husband was very supportive by telling me he didn't care what I looked like, I knew deep down he just wasn't physically attracted to me anymore. I just wasn't the same person he fell in love with. Finally, I knew it was time for a change, and I decided to face the music. I reluctantly stepped onto the scale, and to my disgust, I saw that I had gained 41 pounds. I couldn't believe it. I knew my weight had gotten out of hand, but I had no idea it had gone this far. I couldn't face the world. I went back to bed and spent the rest of the day crying my eyes out. If you've ever gained a lot of extra weight or felt like your body was simply out of control, I know how you feel. It can really make you feel both helpless and hopeless. Thankfully, I know there's a solution that works because I've done it. Plus, it's fast, easy, and it tastes delicious. Best of all, I lost every one of those stubborn 41 pounds for good. So you can understand why I was willing to fly to Africa and go deep into the jungle to find this mysterious recipe. Remember, nothing worked for me until I found this ancient red tea recipe that shrank fat cells. Before I share this recipe with you, I have to give you a warning. Today, I'm going to give you this recipe to use as often as you want, but to be completely honest, a lot of the information I'm sharing with you today exposes secrets that some people don't want you to know about. While I'll keep this site running as long as I can't promise any miracles. So if you're even a little bit curious about how this tea can change your body and shrink your fat cells, you need to watch the entire free video today. I know this sounds pretty far-fetched to you right now. However, the truth is that all I did was drink this delicious red tea and do a few other simple things to shrink my fat cells. The unique combination of special ingredients in this tea literally unlock your fat cells to help remove built-up toxins and reset your body's metabolism. The two things making it impossible for you to lose weight. Best of all, I've found the science that actually backs it up. The days of feeling guilty about not losing weight are finally over. Isn't that what you really want? You don't have to starve yourself or eat a bunch of flavorless vegetables to get results. Simply drink this delicious tea and enjoy the smart foods you love, and you will drop pounds guaranteed. Right now, you're probably wondering why no one has ever heard of this tea before. The answer is incredibly simple. In fact, the entire tribe thought I was crazy when I told them I wanted to lose weight. It's not a part of their culture to worry about losing weight, so they don't even realize that they're holding onto a secret that everyone in America is dying to get their hands on. So let me ask you this. Can you give me 14 days to cleanse away 14 pounds? Imagine if you knew exactly how this ancient red tea could change your life in only a few weeks. Imagine the relief of watching 5 pounds simply melt away in just 5 days. Imagine the confidence you'll feel from walking into work wearing those jeans you haven't been able to zip up since your wedding. Imagine the joy of seeing your spouse look at you the way he or she did so many years ago. Imagine your excitement when just 14 short days from now, you step on your scale, look down, and see that you're 14 pounds lighter. Think about the excitement you'll feel when you see the real-life proof that you can lose this much weight. And it was all so easy. All you did was drink this delicious red tea. Plus, you still got to enjoy delicious meals and even exercised a bit less, not more. You can cleanse away fat as much as you want, anytime you want. It's all up to you, and you don't have to stop there. Remember, it's not just about losing the fat either. This is about confidence. This is about freedom. By taking control of your body, you're taking back control of your life. No more insecurity, no more indecision. Best of all, no more feeling helpless. Few things are as empowering as feeling confident about the way you look. Honestly, even if you want to lose 20, 40, 60 pounds or more, I know this can work for you. It turns out this red tea can give you the wonderful, confident, and happy life you deserve. Drink this tasty tea and only 14 days from now, you'll have kick-started your natural fat-burning system into overdrive, turning your body into a calorie-burning machine. You'll look in the mirror, and for the first time in years, you'll see a big, unstoppable smile. You'll be thrilled, just like I was. You'll love the new, slender-looking you. It's the slimmer and sexier body you've always wanted to see. Up until now, I've only shared this revolutionary fat loss red tea recipe and my proven methods for cleansing fat away with my private clients, people who have paid me thousands of dollars. I've dedicated my life to searching the world to uncover little-known methods for helping people just like you Safely and sensibly lose fat and keep it off. After falling into the worst shape of my life, I can personally say that this is by far the single best method for losing pounds quickly and easily. In fact, it was the only one that worked for me. It'll work for you too. Now, to speed your fat loss, and as a special thank you just for watching my informative fat loss video, I'm giving you 5 new fat shrinking rules. The rules will help you to detox your body and force your fat cells to open, so you can release stubborn fat and shrink your fat cells. You can be cleansing away fat mere minutes from now. Throughout my career, my books have helped countless men and women across the world improve their health, jumpstart their metabolism, and lose weight when other programs fell short. I'm thrilled when I see messages flooding my inbox from women and men just like you, thanking me for giving them this red tea recipe and the methods that worked for them to cleanse away the fat when nothing else did. Now, you'll hear from just a few of my private clients who drank this delicious fat-cleansing red tea that forced their body to pump out more fat-burning hormones and make their fat cells shrink and stay shrunk. The new smaller body measurements from their fat cells shrinking were simply off the charts. Amazing! They found the one thing that let them hack into their own metabolism and jumpstart their natural fat loss systems. Additionally, the benefits go way beyond fat loss. It has worked for everyone who's followed my advice. I mean it, everyone. 14,793 people and counting. This includes Amanda, Dan, Melissa, and Emily, who took my advice and cleansed their fat away after they supercharged their own fat-burning systems. Amanda H., age 57, from Topeka, Kansas says, "I'm back in my skinny jeans. I lost 17 pounds and I'm fitting into jeans I never thought I would wear again. My husband tells me I look slender and sexy. I'm very pleased with my results." Dan R., 42, an entrepreneur from Troy, Michigan says, "I'm back in control and shed 42 pounds. My business is hectic and everyday life is stressful, so I often do not feel in control. This has made me feel I can control my hunger and what I eat. I feel much more in control of my life and I am very happy with my fat loss." Melissa T., 47, who lives in Topeka, Kansas, had this to say, "I flushed away 32 pounds. Now I have a curvy waist and hips right above my jeans. I feel fantastic. I'm so proud of what I did because my waist hasn't been this small since high school." Emily A., a 32-year-old computer programmer from Miami, Florida, says, "My belly shrank. I've lost 16 pounds and feel great. I never felt hungry while drinking this tasty tea. I lost 16 pounds without much effort. I lost all the weight I wanted, and I never felt deprived either." You've heard from just a handful of the thousands of people who've proved this is the one thing that worked to lose all the weight they wanted. In just 14 days from now, you can have similar results, just like Amanda, Dan, Melissa, and Emily did. Believe me, this tea is so powerful, you must watch all the way to the end so you can get the secret recipe. Then you'll see that detoxing my body with this tea helped me shed 41 pounds and gave me the sexy, slender body you see now. If I can go from this to this and lose 41 pounds of ugly fat without being hungry, you can too. I can help you. You can achieve the body you've always wanted, the body you deserve. Sometimes there are special moments in your life where everything changes for the better. This, right now, is one of those times. I know you're probably skeptical, right? That's okay. But I can't stress this enough. You are not a failure. The fat loss science you thought would help you lose weight failed you. I should know. I remember how it was when nothing in my closet fit me, when I knew nothing would look good on me. I'd buy baggy, loose-fitting clothes. That way no one could see my ugly rolls and bulges. I was so ashamed of my body that I even began undressing for bed in the dark so my husband couldn't see how fat I really was. It wasn't just his gaze that I was trying to avoid. I hoped and prayed every night that he wouldn't try to touch me. I couldn't bear the shame of him knowing what I'd become, even if it meant we grew apart because of it. As a result, we did. I hated it. Nothing I tried worked to lose the weight. No diet, no shake, no fat-burning supplements, no matter how much I starved myself. No amount of rigorous exercise ever worked to lose the fat either. So I suffered, for longer than I'd like to admit. All that is behind me now, and soon it will be for you too. All because I uncovered this ancient red tea recipe. And that's not hype. I'm not offering magic potions here. This red tea and the simple-to-follow detox plan that goes with it are rooted in sound scientific principles. Its fat cell shrinking effects are based on scientific research and the latest discoveries in how fat burn is related to stress, proper hormone levels, adequate sleep, nutrition, and other aspects of the body's physiology. I'd love to help you lose the fat if you'll let me, but first, let's take a look at 5 counterintuitive principles of weight loss that traditional methods just don't cover. New fat shrinking rule number 1. Eat more, weigh less. The old rules of dieting have been telling you to eat less, so you end up feeling deprived and starving with tiny portions. Forget about that. Losing weight is not about deprivation. It's all about detoxing your body and eating superfoods that burn up quickly, revving up your metabolism, so you sizzle off calories all day and all night long. I'll show you how to detox and lose unwanted fat without willpower. You will eat more and weigh less. With the help of this amazing red tea recipe, you will never feel hungry. The old rules of fat loss will be dumped in the trash can where they belong, and this leads us to our next rule. New fat shrinking rule number 2. Reduce stress, lose fat. This new rule is about reducing your chronically high stress levels, a critical part of losing weight. I'll give you a few simple methods to quickly reduce your stress and a list of the best methods to restore hormone balance at the end of this presentation. You will feel calmer and weigh less. Follow my advice and you will feel less stressed and release more body fat. It's true. Your stress is holding your body back. Very few people truly understand how chronically high stress levels do serious harm to maintaining proper levels of fat burning and fat storing hormones, which are required for releasing and burning excess fat. One study from the University of Florida found that chronic stress actually causes your body to start producing a protein called beta-trophin. When this special compound is in your body, it brings critical fat-burning enzymes to a complete standstill. That's just one critical reason why what you're about to discover is so revolutionary when it comes to safe and sustainable fat loss. By working with your fat cells instead of fighting against them. Not only that, but how this red tea recipe found deep in the heart of Africa not only reduces stress, it also stimulates your body's natural systems to work together and burn more fat in less time. So now you know that stress is a huge reason for your excess fat. But here's another big one too. New fat shrinking rule number 3. Eliminate toxins, drop pounds. Did you know most processed food that is on the grocery store shelves contains harmful substances? Most food manufacturers just don't give a damn that their food products are contributing to sickness and death for millions of people, even though they know for a fact how dangerous these chemicals really are. The common food toxins found in processed foods include nitrates in processed luncheon meats, omega-6 fatty acids in oils from cottonseed, corn, soybean, safflower, and others, processed sugar and high fructose corn syrup, GMOs or genetically modified foods, residues from pharmaceuticals, manufacturing chemicals, and other toxins in meat, eggs, and dairy, pesticides and herbicides in conventionally grown produce and grain. When combined, all these toxic factors can result in low levels of fat-burning hormones and high levels of fat-storing hormones. And this dreaded combination can sabotage your fat loss and ruin your chances at having the slender body you want. One study from Princeton University showed that a diet which included sweeteners like high fructose corn syrup was associated with more weight gain than ones with the same level of natural sugars instead. It's not just how much you eat, it's what you eat. That's why I was searching for a safe shortcut that would help my clients with an intense detoxification program to rid their fat cells of hormone-blocking toxins to unlock their natural ability to shrink fat cells. This is why you've had such a hard time losing weight, even though you do everything right. No amount of exercise and dieting can help you lose weight if your hormones are preventing you from getting the body you deserve. Toxins are all around us. They are in the soil, in synthetic materials, and in our homes. There are toxins in our water and even in the air we breathe. Pharmaceuticals, industrial chemicals, and pesticides in particular are often present in our water. Companies don't dispose of chemicals properly. People flush pharmaceuticals down the toilet, and pesticides seep into the ground soil every single day. As a result, these chemicals get into our water supply and eventually into our food. This is also true about fertilizers and heavy metals like mercury, lead, and arsenic. They don't make you feel sick right away, but they do build up in your body over time. Most importantly, these toxins are making it impossible for you to lose weight. One research study conducted by the Uppsala University in Sweden concluded that there is a clear relationship between high levels of the environmental toxin PCB, a coolant and lubricant used in manufacturing, and the amount of body fat around the belly. Belly fat is known to increase your risk of diabetes and high blood pressure, among other dangerous conditions. One of the reasons your body holds on to fat is because it uses that fat as a safe storage facility for toxic compounds like pesticides and mercury. Your body naturally protects itself by holding on to both fat and water to mix the toxins with your excess body fat and water weight. This is how your body reduces the harm that toxins do. Unfortunately, it also means you're gaining a lot of weight you don't want. That's why you should seriously consider detoxing your body. Research by Skidmore College exercise scientist Paul Arciero showed that detoxification can even reduce oxidative stress, which has been linked to causing diseases like Alzheimer's. That means if you try to lose weight without detoxing your body, you could end up with more oxidative stress and illnesses, including Alzheimer's disease. This is actually part of the reason why losing weight is so difficult and even painful for so many people. If all these sources of toxins aren't properly taken care of, the buildup can cause critical hormone imbalances, which may lead to serious health issues and weight gain, and could end in obesity. Yes, it's true that 68.7% of Americans are overweight or obese. Part of that startling number is due to the buildup of harmful toxins around us. One of the main problems with trying to lose weight, especially around your belly, is getting those stubborn fat cells to let go of the locked-in fat so the body can cleanse harmful toxins and flush fat away. The key to finally releasing this type of fat is new fat shrinking rule number 4. Rebalance hormones, release stored fat. Due to cutting-edge research, we now know that the hormone noradrenaline may hold the key to unlocking fat cells and shrinking them. It's what causes the action of the incredible shrinking fat cell. In a landmark study at the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke, scientists discovered that toxic molecules can accumulate in the space between cells and can cause them to be larger in size, meaning the more toxins you have around your fat cells, the bigger they'll become. Researchers at Karolinska Institute in Sweden also found out adrenaline and noradrenaline are the hormones that stimulate the breakdown of fat and toxic molecules. However, when nutrients are plentiful, fat cells become resistant to this signal and instead store more fat, as reported by Professor Carlos Ibanez at the Department of Neuroscience. Noradrenaline is a stimulant hormone that signals your body to start using your belly fat for energy. The takeaway here? The more noradrenaline produced in the body, the more pounds the body naturally sheds. This red tea recipe just so happens to boost noradrenaline production. Everyone I've helped with my red tea recipe lost a lot of weight because of it, with much of it lost in the hard-to-lose belly area. Results showed fat cell size and fat storing volume actually shrunk. Noradrenaline was just one of the compounds I found in the red tea's 5 unique ingredients. I'll show you the clinical science of why this, along with the other 4 unique ingredients that work to shrink fat cells, but first, I'll give you the 5th fat cell shrinking rule. New fat shrinking rule number 5. Exercise less, lose more weight. Scientists have made astonishing discoveries, and a recent breakthrough is something scientists call the exercise sweet spot. Your sweet spot is the exercise intensity level where the full fat-burning power of your body is unleashed, so your body draws on fat stores for fuel. You are not exercising harder, you are exercising smarter. Do this right, and fat layers under your skin vanish and excess pounds disappear. You can drop a dress or a pant size in 2 weeks as your whole body becomes firmer, sexier, and trimmer. Sadly, most people are eating too little and exercising too much, and this actually works against fat loss. When you're overstressed, your body's ability to make enough fat-burning hormone rapidly declines. When you're stressed out, burning excess fat is even harder. That's why I'm here to help you understand how drinking a tasty red tea, along with a few simple methods, will detox your body and easily balance all of your fat-storing and fat-burning hormones. You'll see how this red tea can literally force your fat cells to open and detox your body to quickly cleanse away all those extra pounds and inches. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? If you've been frustrated by your inability to lose fat, and you've actually seen fat accumulate as you age, that's the number one sign that one or more of your body's natural fat-releasing and fat-burning steps have been blocked. Taking action is vital, especially if you're over the age of 35 like I am, and you're concerned about your health. If you want to lose stubborn fat around your belly, butt, and thighs, and want to never feel hungry or unsatisfied, today is the day that stubborn belly fat and the fat on your butt and thighs start slimming down fast and forever. I don't even care how stubborn that belly fat has been. If you've always wanted to fit into clothing you've only dreamed about before, I'll show you how you can rebalance your fat loss hormones and unblock crucial metabolic fat-burning steps so you can control your fat-burning and fat-storing hormones and do it as easy as 1, 2, 3. I'll give you the secret red tea recipe so you can make it right in your own home with cheap ingredients from your own grocery store. This delicious zero-hunger, fat-burning red tea with incredible energy properties is about to be yours. Before I give you the red tea recipe, I'd like to share with you the harrowing details of my real-life African adventure and how searching for that no-hunger red tea from the ancient legend restored my health, revitalized the intimacy in my marriage, and on more than one occasion, almost scared me to death. It all started when my husband and I booked a flight to Africa, hot on the trail of this ancient red tea. What was so incredible was that not only did I find this African shaman's no-hunger red tea recipe, this recipe has the most remarkable fat-cleansing action I've ever discovered in 15 years of traveling the world as a medical maverick. I've seen some truly mind-blowing fat loss results, but this red tea is by far the most impressive and the most incredible thing I've ever discovered. I also discovered that this no-hunger red tea's 5 unique ingredients are scientifically proven to trick stubborn fat cells to open and force them to release hard-to-lose fat, and to cleanse away years, if not decades, of unwanted fat. You'll see exactly how these 5 herbal ingredients work in harmony to speak instructions from your brain to your fat cells to burn unwanted fat and shrink your fat cells without any feelings of hunger. You'll hear about my exciting and life-threatening adventure about how I obtained this ancient red tea recipe from a shaman whose hut was perched on the edge of a 600-foot cliff, high above the parched African savanna. When I tried exercising to exhaustion to burn more belly fat, it had little effect on my fat loss. I went to my doctor to find out why I couldn't lose weight. After my exam and looking at my lab tests, he said, "Everything looks good. There's nothing wrong with you. I think you need to watch what you eat closer. Just stick to the medically prescribed diet I gave you. I also want you to exercise more often and longer. I'm sure if you follow the diet and exercise program correctly, you can lose the weight." My doctor just wasn't listening. I had already tried eating less. I was exercising more, and I was still getting fatter. Like every other one I'd been to, my doctor was too arrogant, too sure of himself, and too dismissive to really listen to what I had to say. It was absolutely infuriating. He didn't believe me. Like with everything else in the medical establishment, my doctor was taking the easy way out and putting the blame on me. I was so frustrated that after I left the doctor's office, I broke down and cried in my car. I did everything he told me, and it still failed. Maybe you've had a similar problem, and you know what this is like. So what was really wrong with me? Why couldn't I lose this excess weight? I had no clue, and neither did my doctor. As if that wasn't enough, my marriage was on the verge of complete and total failure. My husband and I weren't anywhere close to being as intimate as we used to be, and I knew that deep down it was my own fault. I was pushing him away because I was ashamed of my body, because I felt like I was becoming a different person. What's worse was that he thought the same thing. I could tell by how he looked at me, or rather the way he didn't. When I asked him about it, he said, "There's nothing wrong." I knew better. Deep inside me, I knew he just wasn't attracted to me anymore. Now, the one thing in my life I was sure of, one of the most fundamental things to who I was in jeopardy. My doctor was lying and my husband was lying. Sadly, my scale was the only thing telling me the truth. Each time I weighed myself, the numbers were up, even as I ate less and exercised more and more. As you might have already guessed, I had a few other nagging symptoms that made me feel sick, like waking up feeling tired even after sleeping 8 hours, frequent headaches, easily getting upset and feeling moody, difficulty concentrating, puffy swelling under the eyes, cold hands and feet, thinner eyelashes and eyebrows, and stronger sugar cravings. Maybe you've had some of these symptoms too. If you have, then it's incredibly important you continue to watch this free video. I just might have the answer to all of your problems. Altogether, the nagging symptoms were causing me to feel tired, frustrated, and really hopeless. I was always hungry. I craved sugary foods and drinks. I was having trouble trying to maintain my blood sugar levels. If I drank a couple of cups of coffee to wake up, I felt jittery. Even if I slept a full 8 hours at night, I felt like I needed a nap at 2 p.m. I knew something was seriously wrong with me, no matter what my doctor said. When I heard this bizarre rumor about this no-hunger red tea, I was feeling miserable. I was 41 pounds overweight, so you can understand why I was extremely excited to find out more. I knew that if I could curb my hunger with it, I could easily lose the weight. That's why I was so eager, even desperate, that I was willing to fly all the way to Africa to find out if this legend was true. Yes, my marriage was in serious trouble. Before we went to Africa, I had to buy new, bigger clothes because nothing fit me. I knew if I didn't do something about the ugly fat rolls on my body, I was headed for a traumatic, soul-crushing divorce. Our lack of intimacy was going to destroy both of us, and the vows we swore to uphold till death do us part. During our trip to Africa, everything changed for the better. I'll give you the details on that in a minute. After we arrived at the remote African village where we would start our journey, the first couple of nights were horrible. I felt like the intense African heat was suffocating me. I was so incredibly hot that I couldn't breathe. I was even on the verge of fainting when our translator told us that it was only going to get hotter by the end of our trip. I would wake up sweaty, covered in mosquito bites, and feeling awful. Daytime temperatures were well over 100 degrees, and there was very little shade. If I did manage to find some shade to sit in, thick swarms of biting black flies would viciously attack me. By the end of the trip, these nasty black flies had acquired a taste for me, and I was covered in red spots that itched like crazy. It gets worse, much worse. As we finally got closer to the remote tribe that guarded the red tea recipe, our guide showed us the trail we had to climb, which was the only way up. It was the steepest, most dangerous-looking path I'd ever seen. It couldn't have been less than 15 stories of winding, jagged rocks and mud, all traced by a single green vine as thick as my arm. To make matters even worse, I was itchy, I was exhausted, and I was struggling to stay standing at all. Our guide hopped onto the path. "It's easy," he shouted over his shoulder as he pulled himself up the trail using the thick green vine. I, on the other hand, was coming up with excuses to turn around. When I looked over at my husband, I saw a glimmer of hope. Hope that there might be something waiting for us up that hill. Hope that this just might end up saving our marriage. I couldn't turn away from it. Not this time. As we climbed and climbed the hills, my muscles burned and my body ached. I'd never worked this hard in my life. Finally, on the verge of collapsing from exhaustion, I just had to take a break. That's when the giant red snake decided to make me his dinner. He could tell that I was in no shape to run away. My husband tried to throw a rock at him, but that only made him angrier. He rattled his tail and looked me dead in the eye. It lunged at me. Everything went black, and the last thing I remember was its enormous fangs gleaming in the African sun. When I awoke, what seemed like a lifetime later, I was surrounded by faces I didn't recognize. I searched them all for answers, but they only responded in a language that sounded ancient and one that I didn't recognize. That's when I saw my husband and our guide push through the crowd, and a wave of relief washed over me. I tried to stand, but I was still far too weak. The guide told me that after the snake attacked, my husband leapt at the reptile with his bare hands, grabbed him mid-strike, and after a struggle, threw the viper over the edge of the cliff. It was by far the bravest thing he'd ever seen, the guy told me with a smile. I looked at my husband, and he looked at me. We shared a moment that I'll never forget. That's when I knew I had to get better, for myself and for him. Then one of the villagers brought me a cup filled with the tea I had traveled so far to drink. After finally trying it, I knew that it was well worth the voyage. From the instant it began coursing through my body, I could feel it energizing my every cell, injecting new life into every limb. My exhaustion melted away, almost instantly, and I felt renewed, revitalized, and ready to take on the world. This red tea was unbelievably refreshing, and over the many days I drank it, I was never hungry. This common drink of the village completely eliminated my soda addiction. Other than water, it was the only beverage the villagers drank, which I was told was also why the women were all so slender. After a few days of drinking the red tea, I noticed I was sweating less. My breathing was easier, in spite of the intense African heat, which often rose to a scorching 105 degrees. Even though I had to climb a massive hill to get to the village every day, I actually had more energy than ever before. I started sleeping better too, waking up more rested, refreshed, and actually excited to face the new day. I even noticed myself feeling more relaxed and calm, despite having to deal with all those flies. I was thinking clearer, feeling stronger, and finally seeing the world as it was meant to be seen. My stress had practically vanished, and the anxiety that used to plague my days was gone completely. I was finally happy. Best of all, the weight was falling off me. Day after day, I noticed myself getting slimmer, stronger, and more importantly, not feeling the urge to eat, even though I was burning through calories at an explosive rate. In fact, I lost almost 20 pounds that first month alone. This red tea forced my body to lose the frustrating fat. That's when I knew I wasn't crazy for making this trip to Africa. In fact, it was probably the best decision of my life. More importantly, I had to bring it back to America so I could share its life-changing power with people like you. Here's the bad news. The villagers protected the secret red tea recipe and prized it like pure gold. It was a sacred part of their way of life, and not just anyone was allowed to unlock its mysteries. Only the truly initiated could harness its power. I asked Rose, my new friend from the village, if she would kindly give us the recipe. She said, "I'm sorry, but I can't give you the recipe. Only the village shaman can do that. Only he has the power to entrust you with the ancient recipe." In order to get to this shaman, the path was once again going to be treacherous. We had to walk for 15 miles and climb an even steeper trail for several hundred feet. There at the top of the highest cliff is where I could find the village shaman. What's worse, since the trail moved outside the cover of the trees and into the simmering sun, Rose told us that the only way we'd ever survive the trek was by traveling in the cool of the night. Now, I'll be honest with you. Walking through the African bush in the pitch black, surrounded by lions, panthers, hyenas, and dozens of species of poisonous snakes and spiders, scared the heck out of me. After all, I already had one run-in with death. I sure as heck didn't want another, but I was driven to keep going. I knew that this recipe would change the lives of thousands. It would bring hope to so many people that were lost, confused, and desperately seeking a way out of a lifestyle that was not only unhealthy, but would likely end up killing them in the long run. After experiencing the incredible effects of this magical tea firsthand, I knew I wasn't leaving this continent without it. Still, I was afraid. 15 miles is a long, long way, especially in the pitch dark with only a few torches for light. What could I do? Give up? I don't think so. After several hours and about 12 miles of steady hiking, I was getting tired. The humid air, the enveloping darkness, and the exhaustion from the difficult path caught up with me, and after a misstep, I stumbled. I fell sideways into a wet sandy hole. After struggling to get up and failing, the panic set in. I was sinking, and I was sinking fast. One of our guides was close by and quickly rushed over. He tried to pull me out, but the force of the suction was too much. Then he vanished back into the bush. Was he running away? Was this how it would all end for me? Scared, alone, and literally being swallowed by the African sands? Then the guide emerged from the trees again, holding a large bundle of sticks. He placed them in front of me across the top of the sand in a path leading out of the deadly trap. "Now," the guy urged, "push yourself out. It's the only way." I pushed down on the path ahead of me with all of my strength. I strained, I screamed, and I labored with all of my being. Finally, I lifted myself out of certain death by sheer force of will alone. Once I emerged from that deadly pit, the guy grabbed me by the arm and dragged me out to safety. "Bad place to fall," he laughed. "Quicksand." Then he made a sucking sound with his mouth as he chuckled again. I, on the other hand, wasn't laughing. My legs were shaking. I was exhausted. After my second brush with death, I was terrified. Is it really worth risking my life for this recipe? That's when we took a break. The villagers poured us some of the red tea while we rested. It tasted delicious. It stopped my hunger and gave me the energy to keep going, even after hiking for miles and facing almost certain death. Tasting the tea again convinced me that I wasn't crazy. I had to get this recipe. What's more, I could get this recipe. I had the strength. After all, look at how far I'd come. After a few miles more, at long last, we had arrived. As we came upon the shaman's home, a steady and rhythmic grinding echoed over the cliff. He lived in a solitary hut adorned with a variety of carvings, tools, and herbs. When he finally emerged from the tent, he stared at us all with an intensity I'd never seen before. We immediately bowed in a sign of respect. One by one, we offered him our traditional gifts in ritualistic ceremony, just as our guides taught us to do before we arrived. One by one, we were all met with his stoic and indifferent stare. It was then that Rose told the shaman why I was here and what I had come for. When I saw his reaction, though, I didn't need a translator to tell me what he was saying. He refused to give me the recipe. I was heartbroken. All my sacrifice, all my work to get to this point was in vain. I risked my life to get here. Now I had to go back empty-handed? I refused. So I told the shaman about what I'd been through, the countless miles I'd traveled, the grueling trek to the village, the attack from the deadly viper, and the quicksand. Rose tried to keep up with the translation and matched my enthusiasm with her own. When I was finally finished recounting the tale, he held my eyes with his own for what felt like an eternity, his face emotionless and blank, but his eyes searching. Suddenly the shaman laughed. It was a surprising, joyful laugh. He motioned for me to come closer. He placed the ancient bowl in my hands with the dried red leaves in it, called out into the void over the cliff, and traced some kind of symbol over my head. At that, the shaman turned away from us and started grinding red leaves again in the same steady rhythm, leaving the bowl of ingredients in my hand. While we were walking back down the trail, Rose stopped and pulled me aside. She whispered, "There's a reason we're on a cliff." Was I about to be murdered for getting this tea? Rose could tell I was scared, so she quickly explained, "We keep the red tea at the top of this cliff so no one can find it. You don't understand how important this recipe is to our tribe." You must have really impressed the shaman. I hugged her. I thanked her for the precious gift. As we hiked back to the village, Rose told me about the ancient history of the red tea. She said that the villagers drank it to feel no hunger while they were out hunting. The women drank it to maintain energy throughout the day to help look after all their children. That's when Rose took me to a special tea-making hut. There she showed me how to make this delicious red tea. The recipe was simple and easy to make. A batch of it lasted all day. My husband and I drank some, and it gave us the energy we needed to celebrate our discovery that night and rekindle our marriage. By the time the 2 months were up, I realized I had detoxed from a lot of processed, chemical-filled, fat-free food my doctor kept telling me to eat. What did he know? I kicked my soda habit without even trying. What's even more shocking is that after my husband and I spent 2 months drinking this delicious red tea several times a day, we easily lost weight. I lost 41 pounds, and he lost 37. Now I'll show you just what makes this delicious African red tea so powerful and how to make the recipe. I call it the Red Tea Detox Program. It gave us both the energy we needed to be intimate again, and to tell you the truth, our sex life has never been better. Even more important is the fact that we are both so much more connected. We are more open, honest, and happier together than we have ever been. As our bodies became healthier, so did our minds. We were finally able to appreciate each other as much as we deserved. We'd never been closer. We lost more weight drinking this red tea than we had ever done on any other diet. I went from this to this. My husband went from this to this. The funny thing is, it was easy to do because we never felt hungry. We just drank the red tea. When we did, we felt a surge of energy that lasted all day long. So this ancient legend about a hungerless tea was absolutely true. We had finally found something that worked. I had bundled a large supply of this red tea to take back with us to America to maintain our higher energy levels and slender bodies. And I wanted to study it so I could recommend it for my private weight loss clients too. The truth is, you simply need to know the recipe for how to make this delicious red tea. After I secured a new supply of this delicious red tea, my husband and I returned to America. I came back and was determined to unlock the secrets of this incredible concoction, so I teamed up with a research team from our local college and got to work. It took us several months of rigorous scientific research to confirm the test results. We've discovered all 5 ingredients worked in perfect harmony, with each herb contributing a specific action to force fat cells to open up and release harmful toxins that clog up fat cells, reduce stress hormones like cortisol that block the brain's fat-burning signals, allow released fat to be burned for energy and muscle growth, stop the feeling of hunger and cravings, cleanse released toxins and fat from the body, and much more. All 5 unique ingredients work together to effectively detox the body to cleanse fat away in as little as 4 hours. When the red tea recipe is made according to the exact specifications in this program, 99% of people who drink it end up losing weight, an unheard of rate. The clinical research proved that this red tea's unique herbal blend makes this red tea vastly different from anything you've had before. It detoxes, it purifies, it cleanses toxins. It forces fat from fat cells to be burned for energy. This red tea works to cleanse up to 14 pounds of fat away in as little as 14 days. I know it's scary because those who are overweight have an increased risk of diabetes, heart attack, stroke, and cancer. All of these can be fatal. The combination of built-up toxins and a slowed metabolism is making you feel ill and overweight, and it's blocking your body's ability to burn stored fat for energy to feed your muscles. It's the reason why you can't lose weight no matter what you try. You'll want to take action to end any toxic hang-ups your body may be experiencing right now, as it may be the root cause why losing weight is so hard for you. The 5 unique ingredients can help your body prevent the dangerous onset of prediabetes, heart disease, hypothyroidism, or the growth of precancerous cells. In my private practice as a naturopath and best-selling Amazon author, I highly recommend the red tea detox for anyone who wants to cleanse away excess fat without feeling any cravings or hunger. My books have helped 156,445 women and 107,989 men burn the fat, regain their health, and take control of their lives. Now it's your turn to do the exact same thing. I assure you this red tea recipe and my detox methods have never before been revealed until today. Why not? Because these fat-burning tactics go against everything the medical establishment has told you. I've seen dozens of clients struggle to understand why everything they've tried hasn't worked for them. They've suffered too many fat loss failures because their doctors are just like mine, unhelpful and absolutely wrong, telling them that they aren't working hard enough when, in reality, they're doing everything they're supposed to do. With the red tea detox, losing weight does not have to be difficult. When you're on the red tea detox, you'll be shifting from carbohydrate burning to high-octane fat burning. I have my clients enjoy this delicious red tea made with the 5 unique ingredients that work together in perfect harmony so that almost every one of them loses up to 14 pounds in just 14 days. They drink this delicious tea to block uncontrollable hunger and cravings, prevent mood changes and irritability caused by low blood sugar, eliminate rebound weight gain triggered by skipping meals, and boost energy levels with no mid-afternoon energy slumps. You can cleanse fat away and drop pounds and inches by drinking a delicious red tea that is actually good for you. As an added perk, their lab tests show better blood work numbers too, including lower LDL, fewer triglycerides, and less blood sugar overall. That's why you'll love how easy it is to unlock and release unwanted fat quickly, safely, and powerfully. Now, would you do something for yourself right now? Imagine what it would be like to look in your full-length mirror and finally love the body you see. Imagine having enough energy to do something you've always wanted to do, but didn't think you could. Imagine the confidence of walking into a room and knowing you're being stared at for the right reasons. Now you can. I'm going to make you this promise. Cross my heart. You can finally wear your favorite jeans from 20 years ago, have energy throughout the entire day, not get exhausted playing with your kids, not be bogged down with stress and anxiety, and have the confidence and energy to have an intimate evening with your spouse. How can I make that cross my heart promise to you? Because I've been helping people just like you take back control of their lives and do the things they want to do. I've given this delicious red tea recipe to my parents and siblings, and they've lost fat rapidly too. The Red Tea Detox Program is built from more than 5 years of research spanning more than 500 medical studies, hundreds of diet systems and books, and almost 3 years of real-world testing. This program includes both the closely guarded red tea recipe as well as my science-backed detox system. It's a complete system that quickly detoxes the body to cleanse away fat, and it works fast for everyone. With the Red Tea Detox Program, you can strip off 5, 10, 15 pounds of fat or more in just 14 days. If you want to lose more weight, simply repeat the program until you reach your goal. You've waited long enough. Now it's your turn to get the body you want. You don't need to trek to Africa, exhaust yourself climbing cliffs while sweating and swatting bugs. You simply need to know how to make this delicious red tea and follow my advice to detox your body and cleanse away all of that excess fat that you've been carrying around. Now I'll give you everything you need, the tea recipe, and over a decade of research that will show you all the ways your doctor is wrong and what the real truth is behind fat loss. The Red Tea Detox Program includes the red tea recipe and my simple-to-follow methods for detoxing to cleanse away the fat. I promise you that once you try it, you'll say it's the most delicious way you've ever lost fat, all while never feeling hungry. The Red Tea Detox recipe is easy to make, and the 5 ingredients can be found at your local grocery store for pennies. You might even have the ingredients in your house already. This isn't like any of the other diet programs you've tried. There's no calorie counting, no calculating points, and no more bad food. It's all been figured out for you, and you get to keep eating the foods you love. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. You can experience the same dramatic fat loss, powerful energy, restful sleep, healthy hair, and smooth skin that my private clients enjoy. You can have it at a very special limited-time-only price when you click the Add to Cart button below. But act fast. The secrets I share with you here aren't common knowledge for a reason. As such, we could be shut down literally any minute. Want more details on the fat-shrinking effects? Here's the science. Metabolic enhancer number 1, the fat shrinker. This red tea contains aspartame, the incredible fat cell shrinker. Aspartame contains a unique bioflavonoid which reduces stress hormones that contribute to hunger and the storage of fat, while it increases glucose uptake to aid in the balance of blood sugar levels and insulin resistance. That means you'll feel more energized while you get thin, because aspartame has been shown to inhibit the production of new fat cells. Even more important, aspartame's powerful antioxidants protect the liver against damage, aid in reducing cholesterol, help regulate your blood sugar levels, and even improve your mood. Now, it's important that this ingredient is mixed at just the right amount. That's why you'll need to download the recipe today and follow it exactly. Otherwise, you won't get the results you want. Metabolic enhancer number 2, the fat storage stopper. This second unique ingredient has 4 different ways it helps with fat loss. It helps by decreasing calorie intake with a mechanism that works by blocking dietary fat digestion and then acting as an antioxidant and reducing inflammation. Plus, it increases feelings of fullness and enhances glucose and fat metabolism, so you burn more fat while absorbing fewer calories. This is important because it means you can still eat plenty of food and your body will simply take fewer calories, making it easy to lose weight. Metabolic enhancer number 3, the fat unlocker. The third unique ingredient can increase blood flow and stimulate the secretion of adrenaline to boost your metabolic fat-burning rate, while it improves insulin sensitivity and lowers cholesterol. It is a great detoxifier and even helps your digestive system clear food faster, keeping your whole body cleaner. Metabolic enhancer number 4, the fat cleanser. The fourth unique ingredient is a diuretic, so it promotes urine flow without altering the excretion of sodium and potassium, and it won't cause dehydration. This is critical to detoxing your body the right way. It promotes the functioning of the kidneys and liver and increases the amount of various enzymes in the digestive tract, so it helps improve digestion and cleanses the fat. Again, it's incredibly important that you use these ingredients in just the right amount. If you just mix them all together without the recipe, you won't enjoy the body detoxing, fat burning, and energy boosting effects that you need. Metabolic enhancer number 5, the hunger killer. The final unique ingredient in this red tea helps the body to metabolize carbohydrates more effectively. It has been shown to lower insulin resistance while stimulating metabolism, helping prevent increased fat storage by ensuring that lower blood sugar levels are maintained. This aromatic spice improves the speed of digestion and gives relief from gas and bloating too. It makes this red tea taste delicious, and it adds a powerful fat-burning boost. The Red Tea Detox is the breakthrough many people who have been struggling to lose fat have been waiting for. A delicious red tea that means no more having to visit doctors that don't care about what you're going through and don't want to see you get better. No lectures about losing weight or expensive pills, no starving yourself, and no intense workouts. Best of all, it helps eliminate harmful fat by working with your body's natural fat-burning metabolism and doing it all without feeling any cravings or being hungry. Imagine enjoying the foods you love, steak, a beer, or even chocolate ice cream, completely guilt-free. Imagine living a life free of expensive prescriptions and endless doctor visits to renew the pills. Imagine feeling good and living your life without obsessing about every single calorie you eat, all while knowing your health could be protected by one of the most powerful natural healing teas ever discovered. When you download the Red Tea Detox program, you'll get everything you need to lose a massive amount of weight quickly and easily. You get the priceless tea recipe I paid $10,000 in travel to get and risked my life for, twice, the fat-burning research that took me almost 5 years to compile, a complete 14-day meal plan to help optimize your detox, a comprehensive exercise plan proven to almost double your weight loss results, and the Red Tea Detox Motivation Booklet to keep you focused and inspired. Remember, when you drink the Red Tea Detox drink, you're never, ever hungry. You can enjoy this delicious red tea in a number of tasty ways: hot or iced, as a smoothie, in your favorite protein drink, or as a slushie. All these mouth-watering recipes are all inside the Red Tea Detox program, so you'll never get bored of drinking this delicious, powerful, fat-burning beverage. The perfect length of time to detox is 14 days. That's why the program was custom-tailored to cleanse away 14 pounds in just 14 days. Now, I know you could try to detox on your own, but you'll never know if you're doing it right or not. That's why it's best you let me guide you through the process safely and simply. I've done all the research and testing and have created the Red Tea Detox program to ensure your complete success. If you want to lose fat, protect your brain from Alzheimer's, and have a great night's sleep, then you need to act now. Why on earth would you wait? You can get great sleep tonight and wake up energized when you click the button below. You'll want to take complete advantage of my vast experience helping thousands of people just like you who wanted to optimize their own fat-burning systems. The Red Tea Detox Eating Plan, which is included, is exactly that: a natural, doctor-free way to trigger your body's fat-burning system and give you the body you want fast. Plus, you'll also get the Red Tea Detox Workout to skyrocket your metabolism. This exercise and activity plan has the potential to almost double your fat-burning results. Fat loss is driven by intensity, not time. I'll show you easy-to-do, short, simple exercises with serious fat-burning and body-shaping workouts in just 20 minutes daily to keep your fat-burning metabolism high. Then you'll learn how to balance your hormones to cleanse away toxins that are sabotaging your fat loss. Also included is the Red Tea Detox Motivation Booklet, which will keep you going no matter what. This part is essential to the Red Tea Detox program because it dispels the common myths about willpower. Tell yourself that you are only trying this detox program for 1 week, and you can go back to your old habits as soon as the trial period is over. In as little as 7 days, your brain will form new neural pathways and make the detox even easier. You can rest easy because I'll be with you each and every step of the way, guiding and motivating you to make sure you lose at least 14 pounds in 14 days, so you get the healthy body that feels full of energy, the body you deserve. My private clients pay as much as $499 for this information, and they think it's a bargain. But I'm not going to ask you to pay that much for this amazing product. In fact, it was my goal from the beginning to spread the knowledge of this incredible tea across the world to as many people as possible, so I'm not even going to charge you half of that. It's time for you to drink this delicious red tea and use its 5 unique ingredients to stop hunger and end cravings for sugary foods so that you can avoid problems with chronic illness and get the body you've always wanted. You'll feel the energy I felt after drinking this tasty red tea and shrink your fat cells so you can cleanse away as much fat as you want anytime you want. Now, I want you to know I'm giving this to you at the lowest price possible without losing me money. I'm here to help people like you and me live happy lives in healthy, energetic, and attractive bodies, just like the healthy and slender people in that remote Kenyan village. You deserve to have a healthy body and do all the things you ever wanted to do. You deserve to be wearing the clothes you love and getting those nice compliments about your slender figure, too. You won't pay $499 or anywhere near that, because I'm going to offer you, for a very limited time and only during this presentation, a special discount of 95%. That's right. You'll get a huge 95% discount so that this product can be used and shared with as many people as possible. Because you've listened to my story, I know you're different from most people. You need this red tea recipe, and you want to lose the fat just like I did. Because I want you to be thrilled with this program, I'm going to give you even more value. Just like the traditional gifts I gave the shaman when I asked for his ancient red tea recipe. When you click the Add to Cart button below right now,